Hello, this is the Orion broadcast here, and welcome to yet another one of my Orion rants. I am making this particular rant because I've been come under serious attack by other individuals who demand that I respect religion on my other Orion rant titled, I Will Never Respect Religion. And for those who want me to respect religion, what part of I will never respect religion don't you understand? That means no matter what you do, I will never respect religion. Just to be aware of that. And they really attack the messenger instead of discussing the message, or they dance around looking for loopholes, and also use free speech and say they were just criticism, and use fair use as an excuse, even though this has nothing to do with copyright. This is about harassment and cyberbullying and ganging up on me, not copyright infringement. Fair use only covers the issue of copyright. Just to let you know. And they call me butthurt, which is just a trolling term, even though some skeptics use that to refer to religious people who can't handle criticism, and they just strawman me saying I can't handle criticism when I block people for telling me to respect religion. It's because they're trying to force me to respect religion. That's what they're trying to do. And one of them, whom I blocked, and I put a comment on his channel just before I blocked him, threatening to report him to YouTube if he makes his video parody on me, just to punish me for not respecting a certain opinion, which will give me more reason not to respect it and to disrespect him, because he's just being a bully. So let me tell you the subject of this video. It's about the temper tantrums, mainly the temper tantrums that the people on YouTube who hate me love to throw. That's the subject of this video, where they kind of verbally attack me, or call me butthurt, or say that I'm a dogmatic atheist, all because I don't respect religion, for example, and they order me to respect religion. And for those who are criticizing my I'll never respect religion video, don't you dare tell me that you're not telling me that I have to respect religion. Because I found evidence in those comments, I've deleted them after blocking the users, and disabled comments on that video. And I'm going to disable comments on this video as well. I apologize if I sound a bit harsh. I'm just really frustrated with that I'm under fire from lenient atheists, agnostics, etc., who demand that I respect religion. Let me talk about the arguments. This kind of criticism that I'm receiving that is not very constructive from people who complain that I don't respect irrational ideas is a strawman fallacy-flavored smear campaign, totally distorting my position, claiming that I do not respect anyone who dares to disagree with me, period, when that has no basis in reality about me whatsoever, and is more true to how religion itself behaves. Just to try to vilify me in the claim that I'm proving their point, when in reality I'm not. They're just trying to harass and bully me, and trying to get me angry and riled up, especially since one of them is threatening to make a video parody on me, which is just a trolling video. There is this nasty and vicious misconception and myth about me that has been circulating on YouTube among my critics, and let me tell you the YouTuber who created this myth, which in that case had nothing to do with religion, but it's been adopted also, I think, at least by some of the people who are angry at me for not respecting religion. It was coined by a user who no longer makes YouTube videos, period, and has stopped making YouTube videos, period, months ago. It is Super Godzilla 12 who thoroughly endorsed Confused Matthew's Lion King review with a few differences. The only one I knew at the time when I first heard of him was the musicals. But he also let other people like Lion King, which Confused Matthew later learned to do, as I heard, as Confused Matthew approved. He coined a negative myth that I don't respect anybody who has a different opinion from me, in his case, the Lion King fanboy straw man, where he claimed that I have no tolerance for anyone just not liking the Lion King, which that had no basis in reality. It was just a smear tactic to just make me out to be the bad guy. And he used to make videos about me between 2011 and 2012, which I flagged, and they were taken down. And the last of them probably weren't flagged. He just took them down along with his Lion King review that he had, and just had his Sam Rants list last time I checked after he retired from YouTube. But you gotta realize that the reason I did not respect Confused Matthew and Super Godzilla 12's opinion on the Lion King was only because it was faulty and based on faulty assumptions that can actually be proven false with logic and evidence, not because they merely disagree with me. You need to get that through your thick head. Except I want to move away from this topic of the anti-Lion King fanaticism and focus on the issue of religion, which has to do with the video I've been getting attacked for recently. I will never respect religion, and they just are angry that I don't respect it. And let me explain before you ever talk to me, and address every single point I make. Do not dance around looking for loopholes and say those things I listed as bad in the name of religion were bad, but religion itself had nothing to do with it when religion clearly motivated it. So listen up very carefully, and please pay attention to everything I say before commenting on my channel, because my critics have not paid attention well enough before commenting on my channel. If I made it clear that I will never ever respect religion, no matter how much angry criticism or hate mail you give me, you're not going to change that fact. It's just you being childish and having a temper tantrum, perhaps because you're one of those individuals who thinks that we should respect all opinions regardless, unconditionally, even if the opinion is irrational, invalid, biased, prejudiced, incorrect, invalid, or outright harmful. And the reason I don't respect religion is because it is harmful. It has done a lot more harm than good. Like when religion ruled the world, they called it the Dark Ages. And religion has total disregard for science and for equal rights. Like today, the battle for gay rights still rages on because religion wants to deny gay people equal rights, such as the right to marry the person they love. And you think that wanting to put fantasy lands such as creationism in a science class and teach it as if it were fact, or to pass laws to subjugate a certain section of the population just because of a lifestyle you don't approve of deserves respect, then something is clearly wrong with you. I'm going to talk about the kinds of arguments that are used against me when I don't respect an irrational viewpoint, just because those people are angry that I'm merely not respecting someone else's opinion when I have legitimate reason not to respect such irrational ideas. Let me dissect the kind of arguments they used against me. My critics are recently denying that one user that I blocked was attacking me. Yes, he was. He was verbally attacking me. And that is known as the personal attack fallacy, or argumentum ad hominem, aka ad hominem. And all these people who are criticizing me for I will never respect religion video, they're just doing ad hominem attacks. They're verbally attacking the messenger, me, instead of discussing the message and addressing up front all the evidence I present as to why religion is harmful. And plus, that video isn't my only video on religion. I've made another Orion Rant called Why I Hate Religion, which they could watch for more information. It's well presented, even if I am harsh in my tone of voice. It's just these guys have to discuss the messenger, and their ad hominem attacks include calling me butthurt and saying that I'm a dogmatic atheist who's as bad as the religious zealots I'm against, when that is clearly not the case. Another tactic they use the First Amendment to justify harassing me for not respecting religion, like free speech, that they have the right to criticize me, as well as the freedom of religion aspect, and just misconstruing things altogether, again, just to make me look bad and to claim that I've proved their point when they clearly haven't, just thrown temper tantrums. And these people that use the free speech argument against me are taking it a little bit too far to try to harass me and demand that I start respecting religion like they do, when I never will. That is trying to force your views onto other people, which is exactly the same kind of mentality that got me into not respecting religion in the first place. And freedom of speech does not protect from the repercussions of what you have to say or from criticism. I can handle criticism more than they like to think. And I'm going to show you an example of that, which will go back to the topic of movies, including one that I had a final word on based on some breakthrough I made earlier. Titan AE. And this is a mature Titan AE fan that I'm going to show you, Dredge Stinger 1986, to when I was unknown as Rodberry fan. Bring up an interesting point about the Dredge that I can consider as constructive criticism, and I handle it very well. Dredge Stinger 1986 had a very interesting point where he said, quote, "Have you ever considered the fact that the Dredge are made of a different type of energy that is from another dimension? They are made of trans-dimensional energy, which, aside from being electricity, is also tangible. They and their vessels are made of this energy." Close quote. And there's another thing Dredge Stinger 1986 said, which has a different opinion from me, which I would totally respect myself. He said, quote, "Both Star Trek and Titan AE are cool in my book, and I like Titan AE better, and please respect that fact." Close quote. And I'll link his video, No Hard Feelings, below in the description box as an example of a video about me with criticism of my opinion that I can handle very well, because I did handle it very well. You see, I can clearly respect difference of opinion contrary to what my haters and critics like to believe, because I handled Dredge Stinger 1986's criticism of my opposition to Titan AE very well, because he brought up an interesting point, as I quoted from his video No Hard Feelings, which I'll link below in the description box, and had to do to my dismay based on some technological difficulties with the audio in it for some reason. But I have shown footage of that video in my previous videos, like a message for my haters and all that, when I compared it to a temper tantrum video about me, which I'm not going to discuss in this video. You see, I can respect differences of opinion and alternate opinions other than my own that have a different set of likes and dislikes from me. And it's not just limited to Titan AE. It also extends further. As I've revealed in some of my videos, I despise dragons because they happen to remind me of the dark side of my biological dad, who neglected, mistreated, and eventually abandoned me without me even realizing it, except for the abandonment when he stepped out of my life. However, I can respect someone else for liking dragons. I personally don't like pro-dragon literature, such as pro-dragon movies like How to Train Your Dragon, pictured here, or Eragon, or Spyro games, but I have no problem if other people like How to Train Your Dragon, or Spyro games, for example. That's fine, even if dragons are the protagonists in those stories and they remind me of the dark side of my dad, because that's just a matter of taste, and it isn't affecting my life in any way, shape, or form. I just want you to know that. If you like dragons, good for you. I'll respect your opinion there, just to let you know. And what's more, I've done a dual movie review of How to Train Your Dragon and Planes, which contains some spoilers in it. But if somebody criticizes it, I will not block them or filter out their comments as long as they're mature and civil. And I will handle their criticism if they think I'm wrong about How to Train Your Dragon, because they could have good points to the contrary of what I think about that movie, and that is fine. I will handle that criticism, I promise. Since I did a movie review supplement to my Titan review regarding something that Dredge Stinger brought up and No Hard Feelings, I could do movie review supplements to my How to Train Your Dragon / Planes double feature review if I have to take in interesting points that other people have to say to disagree with me, and to respect that. Just to let you know. And there's even more that I have to tell you about how I can respect difference of opinion and handle most criticism. In general, I can respect somebody who likes Star Wars better than something I like, such as Star Trek. That if you do, fine. If you like Star Wars, find it exciting, and find Star Trek boring, I respect your opinion, and I handle that well. And this is especially coming from somebody who has wrestled with psychological issues regarding Star Wars, me. And some of the episodes of my personal history series deal with my issues with Star Wars. Like episode 2 and 3, as well as episodes 4 through 7 so far as of when I make this video, because episode 8, which will also deal with Star Wars, is coming later on. And when I'm proven wrong about something that I feared on Star Wars, I embrace that, just to let you know. I have no problem with other people liking Star Wars as long as they can respect difference in taste, like my enjoyment of Star Trek or the Orion 2, which a lot do, but sadly there are some loudmouth exceptions. And what I can't handle is people trying to force me to do something that I vowed I would never do, just because they don't like my message, for example, which is the kind of a flack I've received on my Why I Will Never Respect Religion video, just to let you know. And there was one downside. I kind of made it a little rush because Bloody Marshmallow is a bisexual who wants me to respect other people who like to subjugate people like him, while say that both Lego Geek and I were stupid, compelled me to make that video. And for those critics there who criticize that video, you should realize that you're the type of person who compels me to make a video vowing to never respect religion, by the way. And this is just a smear tactic when you use freedom of speech to argue against me, when I'm merely blocking you not to prevent your right to speak in general, but to make you shut up and leave me alone, and to stop trying to force me to respect religion when I don't want to. And the Chick-fil-A fiasco is a good example, where the Chick-fil-A fans or Chick-fil-A sympathizers say that those who boycott Chick-fil-A for its anti-gay politics and what Dan Cathy does with his profits and how he came out are violating Dan Cathy's freedom of speech, just to let you know, and are not handling criticism of the quote-unquote gay agenda or gay rights. That isn't necessarily the case. And not all the Chick-fil-A supporters are homophobic right-wing bigots. There have been even a few gay Chick-fil-A supporters who think that Dan Cathy should be respected for his difference of opinion from them, despite the fact that what he's doing with their profits is hurting them and taking away their civil rights. And this is the kind of hypocrisy in this free speech argument of wanting to respect somebody that wants to do their best to subjugate you. If you're like bisexual, like Bloody Marshmallows, and want me to respect other people who like to deny gay people their equal rights, that's kind of hypocritical. That doesn't make sense. And this kind of argument that my critics are using of I will never respect religion, that they think that I should respect religion, is believing that free speech should protect you from the repercussions of what you say and what you practice, even though it only protects you from the government censoring you and from censorship, not from criticism or the repercussions we have to say. They're saying they're just criticizing me, but no, that's just bullshit. They're not calling me out on bullshit. I'm not doing bullshit. I'm presenting facts and evidence in this case. They're just having a temper tantrum and trying to order me and boss me around that I have to respect religion. This may sound like a straw man, but it isn't. But that's what the impression I get. And there's another thing kind of worn out about atheists hating God but not other imaginary icons that I call the leprechaun fallacy after watching some videos by Capricious Black Box on Fernie Boy 100. And this leprechaun argument goes like this. Atheist, why you don't think God exists and leprechauns are fictional too? Why don't you hate leprechauns yet you hate God? That's pretty easy to answer. In the name of the God of the Bible, gay people have been denied their equal rights under law, even by asinine constitutional amendments in state constitutions such as Proposition 8, and there have been wars fought in the name of God and religion. And some people want to bring on the end of the world in the name of God or religion. The rapture and the Battle of Armageddon is the book of Revelations in the Bible. Nobody's taking away people's rights or starting wars or wanting to end civilization in the name of leprechauns. So there's the difference. So I'm going to tell you my take on it with dragons, because I don't dislike leprechauns, and the atheists that were asked that stupid question about leprechauns and God don't dislike leprechauns. I dislike dragons because, as I said before, they remind me of the dark side of my dad. And they may say, why can you respect other people liking dragons, but you respect conservative Christianity? And the answer is simple. There have been no discriminatory laws passed in the name of dragons. There have been no wars started in the name of dragons. And there isn't a desire to end our civilization in an end times in the name of dragons. Yet, in the name of religion, people are pushing for discriminatory laws and starting wars and longing for the end of the world over it just because it's the final chapter of their holy books. You see, this is where I'm coming from and why I don't respect religion, yet I can respect most differences of opinion, like liking dragons even though I don't, or liking Titan A even if I don't. I am now loosening up on Star Wars because I achieved my objective that I've long sought in what I call the Orion Crisis, which will be the topic of Episode 8 of my personal history series. You're just going to have to wait a little while for it to cool down. And mainly because Star Wars, as it turns out, is not even science fiction like I believed it was in the 90s, from factors I learned, including George Lucas's own admission, the content of the story, with just fantasy like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. So this brings up an interesting point. On the fantasy and fairy tale stuff, for outrage, I'll make a sole exception for religion, since religion is based on fairy tales in the holy books. All the holy books are filled with books of fairy tales, and how religion has caused actual harm. And just make a sole exception for religion, despite the obstacles of Bad Apple Star Wars fans and things like StarDestroyer.net, just to let you know. Where I can respect the Star Wars franchise itself, but I am definitely not going to respect religion. And now on to the other argument, freedom of religion, which is in the First Amendment, true. But they're missing the point. Freedom of religion means to practice whatever religion you want, or no religion at all. Freedom of religion also means freedom from religion, despite what right-wing pundits like to say. So that argument falls flat on its face. Because freedom of religion protects your right to practice whatever you want, but it does not protect you from other people not respecting your religious beliefs. Just to let you know. Just like free speech doesn't protect you from the repercussions of what you have to say. And let's get into this religious freedom argument bullshit, shall we? And why I don't take it serious. Conservative Christians think it's their religious freedom to bully homosexuals, and that bullying homosexuals is part of their freedom of religion and should be allowed. And also think that passing laws to treat homosexuals as second-class citizens is also their religious freedom. And this is where religious freedom infringes on the freedom of others. Allow me to give you examples. State ballot measures that even push for state constitutional amendments to ban same-sex marriage in a state in the United States of America. And there's been attempts to pass a federal marriage amendment to ban gay marriage nationwide. An example of this is Proposition 8, also known as Proposition Hate, and I like to call it Proposition Hitler, because it is all about hate and telling gay people they can't marry the person they love, and thinking it's their religious freedom that to do so, and that their religious freedom will be taken away if gay people have their equal rights under the law, which is just pure bullshit. So, by the way, there is a difference between just not respecting someone else's opinion and outright censorship. Not respecting religion does not mean you're taking away their right to practice their religion. You just don't respect their beliefs. I defend Confused Matthew's right to post his Lion King review onto YouTube. I just don't respect the claims he makes in that review, but I defend his right to put that video up to showcase his stupidity. I defend Creationist Zombies' rights, such as Nephilim Free's right to post his Creationist Zombie videos. I just don't respect his beliefs, but I still respect his right to post those videos. I just want you to be aware of that. And I can handle most criticism. Like, allow me to give you another example, which had to do with somebody I was commentating on who wasn't religious, because this may go off topic, but this is another example of me handling criticism, so it is on topic in this. And one good case where I handled criticism regarding commentaries was on my commentaries on Ben the Looney, or BTL for shorts, rants on Adventure Time and regular show that he made a couple of years back, and his Ben Strikes Back video that somebody told me, much to my surprise, beyond what my expectations were, that he now liked Adventure Time and regular show, and I saw for himself Ben Salutes Adventure Time and regular show from this year, 2013. And I made my first, and that's why I made my first Orion update, BTL Somewhat Changes, to acknowledge that, and I thank the person who pointed that out for the input. I thank them for the input, just to let you know. And another thing, where I'm being called just as bad as the religious zealots, and that I'm just this closed-minded, dogmatic atheist, this is a logical fallacy that verbally attacks me in this case, called an ad hominem. Just to let you know, I am not dogmatic, and the atheists who don't respect religion aren't stupid or dogmatic as my critics claim. No, they're not. They're very rational and intelligent people, and they may try to do it just because sometimes we use harsh language, like shut the fuck up to fundy fuckers, for example. Or those who tell us that we have to respect religion without providing evidence that religion deserves respect. And I go by the rule of either put up or shut up, and I make this well presented, just to let you know. For the record, I reserve all of my scathing and harsh language for people who are intellectually dishonest, willfully ignorant, and fervently believing in stuff that has been proven to be false, and believe in fairy tales over science, such as religious fundamentalists, for example. I don't do this scathing for people who just disagree with me or merely criticize him. I don't do it for Dredge Deer 1986 when he brought up an interesting point about the dredge in Titanate to criticize my complaints about it, because he had good points. And I don't tolerate intellectual dishonesty or willful ignorance. I just want you to know that. And I don't tolerate people telling me to respect irrational ideas, and sometimes I can use scathing for that. Because I am not going to respect irrational ideas, especially if they are unfair or harmful. I am sorry if the truth I have to present regarding religion and mental health hurts. I know it can hurt a lot, not just to religious fundamentalists, but to non-religious people that think we should respect religion. Religion is a form of mental illness. It is a cross between schizophrenia and obsessive-compulsive disorder. The schizophrenia part is talking in tongues, having imaginary friends, and believing that those imaginary friends are real, such as zombie Jesus, and delusions. And schizophrenics can't be reasoned with, neither can religious fundamentalists. And religion is organized schizophrenia. And the OCD part, religion has rituals performed in its name, like OCD rituals. I didn't come up with the idea that religion is a mental illness all by myself, by the way. Let me tell you about another YouTuber from which I learned it from, who backs up everything he says with facts. This is a YouTuber, one of which of those I subscribe to, Calpern Pizzo, and he makes a lot of videos about religion and how it is a mental illness and it is a form of schizophrenia, and that the bizarre metamagical beliefs in religion are no different than those in schizophrenia. Religion is organized schizophrenia, and he calls it religious psychosis. Religion's full name is religious psychosis. And Christianity should also be called Christ psychosis, or what I like better, Christophhrenia. Because it is schizophrenia, believing in a resurrected dead man who saves with blood as if he were real, and believing in talking snakes and all that. That doesn't sound mentally healthy. That sounds like mental illness to believe those things are real. And he's not the only one who sees it, even though even most atheists are blind to it, including a lot of atheists who, like me, don't respect religion either, like Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris. But those agnostics and atheists who say I should respect religion, they're even more blind than that. And it's already been proven in the neurology lab that religion is a mental illness. I have a link below to Calpern Pizzo's channel in the description box, so don't take my word for it. And he has a hero who is also a neurologist. This man, Dr. Robert Maurice Sapolsky, or Dr. Sapolsky, is an anti-theist like I am, and he's a neurologist. And he has a lecture on religion and its biological origins, and how religion is so much like schizophrenia and obsessive-compulsive disorder, which I'll have a link below to Dr. Sapolsky's lecture on religion in the description box, so you see that I'm not joking, and I'm not making this up. Religion is a mental illness, by the way, and Dr. Sapolsky knows a lot more about it than I do, since his field is neurology. I tend to go to physics and aerospace engineering, by the way. And by the way, you don't go to jail just for being mentally ill. Just as a reminder, so this freedom of religion argument against me falls flat on its face there, when it comes to the issue of religion being a mental illness. In fact, I've suffered from mental illness myself, like OCD, which a lot of my personal history series is talking about, along with post-traumatic stress disorder. But I've learned to overcome it through intense therapy and self-examination. But I know the truth can hurt, but religion is a mental illness. And I don't want people telling me to respect religion, and there's worse yet, some user who knew I could block him or remove his comment said he was planning to make a video parody on me, which was just a threat. When that other disgruntled user, who I deleted their comment just recently before making this video, said he was planning to make a video parody on me, he was committing a logical fallacy known as appeal the force, in which the arguer threatens the reader or listener that unpleasant consequences, physical or psychological, will follow if they disagree with the arguer's conclusion. He was threatening to make a nasty parody video about me, which would obviously be a trolling endeavor, for my not respecting religion. The conclusion is I have to respect religion and all opinions, and if I didn't accept it, I was going to have a video parody made about me. So I responded very harshly. I blocked him, and I told him that if he made that video, I will report him for harassment. I don't respond well to force arguments and threats, by the way. But I may not report him, because I may decide I'm going to make a commentary on that video parody to expose to people the miserable low depths that my opponents are willing to sink to tell me to respect irrational ideas. The user who threatened to make a video parody on me for my not respecting religion and other irrational opinions, the threat of making a nasty video about me does not prove that I have to respect religion. It's fallacious. It's illogical. You're not presenting logical arguments. You're just planning to get revenge and to inflict psychological harm on me if I don't agree with you or do as you say. You're not merely criticizing me. That's threatening me. That's a force argument, and that's going to get you blocked. Because I don't respond well to threats. By the way, just to let you know. If he does make that force argument parody video, I may or may not have it taken down. It depends. If I don't, I'll make a very harsh commentary on it, exposing his appeal to force. Just to let you know. And now, let me give you a well-presented list of reasons why I do not respect religion. The first reason is the Dark Ages. Christianity caused the Dark Ages, which caused a 1,000-year setback in human progress and advancement of our society, and stagnated the intellect, like this diagram shows, of population growth and scientific advance. That if it weren't for religion, we would be going to other star systems by now. Because religion slows down scientific development. In fact, it's anti-science. And that is one reason I don't respect religion. And another reason I strongly have no respect for religion is that religion is trying to put unreality, namely creationism, into science class, when science class is supposed to be teaching reality. Just to let you know, the religious right is lobbying to have creationism taught alongside or in place of evolution in science class. Creationism is not science. It's a fairy tale. It's fantasy. And plus, religion is often very anti-reality, meaning against any reality checks that happen to clash with cherished beliefs. And that is another reason, yet again, I do not respect religion. And one extremely serious beef that I have with religion, and a big staple reason why I will never respect religion, is its promotion of bigotry, such as the persecution of homosexuals, like Yes on 8, Proposition 8, which was California's state constitutional amendment designed to ban gay marriage in California, and other states have passed such measures in the past, and a handful of them have been overturned so far, including Proposition 8 in the Supreme Court in the summer of 2013, and I was excited when I heard that. And I never ever will respect the idea that homosexuality is wrong. And anyone who tells me to respect beliefs that say that homosexuality is a sin can just shut the fuck up, because I never will respect it, since it has total disregard for other people's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness and their equal rights, and doesn't respect the people they discriminate against. Another reason I don't respect religion is that it can be dangerous, and it has been dangerous. Millions of people over the course of a few millennia in human history have been murdered in the name of religion, like the witch hunts and the Holocaust and the genocide of Native Americans. And there are some right-wing Americans that are lobbying to start a war that would bring on the end of human civilization, where they want to bring on the end of the world and the rapture. Like Sarah Palin is a good example, just to let you know. And that's another reason why I don't respect religion, longing for the end of the world. A lot of religious fundamentalists, conservative Christian fundamentalists in America, long for the end of the world and for the Battle of Armageddon as described in the Bible's book of Revelations. And yet another reason I will never respect religion. As you should know, willful ignorance is one of my biggest pet peeves, and that is one thing I detest in religion. Especially when they flip out over being wrong about things they don't like, such as homosexuality. Where if I'm wrong about Star Wars, I delight in it, and I welcome being proven wrong about Star Wars. Where these Christian nuts flip out when they're proven wrong about homosexuals. And I will welcome if I'm proven wrong about pro-dragon movies like How to Train Your Dragon. I will welcome that criticism. Just to let you know. Plus, religion is an epitome of hypocrisy. Religion claims to be for peace and love, when in reality it's about hate and fear. And all that, and how the Christian right believes that their God is all-loving, yet they like to hate certain groups of people because their imaginary friend doesn't like them, such as homosexuals. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, let me tell you what kind of smear campaign is being done against me, which I've heard before, against liberals by conservatives. And have you heard this liberal logic smear campaign by the Christophrenic right that claims that liberals will only allow you to have free speech as long as you agree with them? Which is just pure bullshit and a straw man flavored smear campaign. That's what a lot of the people who hate me and harshly criticize my not respecting irrational ideas do. They claim that I will only respect ideas that agree with me, which is just no basis in reality. And all that. And it's like saying gay marriage infringes on religious freedom, what they're doing. Even though they're not against gay marriage like the people they want me to respect are, which is kind of hypocritical on their part, which is why I say it's like black men who respect the Ku Klux Klan, because they want me to respect somebody who doesn't respect what I'm fighting for. Just as a reminder, as I said, I will never ever respect religion, and no amount of harsh criticism or threats is going to change all that. In fact, threats are going to give me more reason not to respect religion. I'll allow the fundy fucktards who are infected with severe Christophrenia to comment. Even if I block them, I'll let their comments stay up so people can see how ignorant they are. Because I do block trolls, spammers, and flamers, as well as people who who threaten me and demand that I respect a certain irrational idea. I just want you to know. Just be aware of that. Don't expect me to just automatically respect religious beliefs just because they're religious. Because respect has got to be earned. It cannot be granted. And also, don't expect me to just respect someone else's opinion just because it's their opinion. Not respecting an opinion is not the same as censoring. In fact, all the criticisms I'm receiving on my I Will Never Respect Religion video are ordering me to respect religion. That's what you're doing. You're giving me orders and bossing me around that I have to respect religion. And I can't take any criticism that is solely to boss me around and to tell me what to do, and that I have to respect an irrational idea or religion, and then say I'm the irrational one or the dogmatic one. I'm not a dogmatic atheist. That's not me. I don't respect religion because it is dogmatic and controlling and prejudice and all that. I just want you to be aware. I'm going to make more videos attacking religion, and there's nothing you can do about it. No amount of bossy comments or verbal attacks, aka ad hominem attacks, or appeal to force is going to change all that. Because you need to address what I said up front instead of taking me for an idiot because I don't respect religion. I am highly intelligent. And you think highly intelligent atheists means the ones who respect religion. I'm highly intelligent and I don't respect religion. And just because I say shut the fuck up to fundy fucktards or their enablers does not mean that I'm dumb. I have a good reason for it, and I reserve it for such extreme cases of intellectual dishonesty and telling me to respect intellectual dishonesty and all that. So, until next time, live long and prosper, and I'll see you